Hello, Cassie Brown here. I am thrilled to welcome you to the Brace for Impact podcast. I've been incredibly blessed to work with and coach some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry. And do you know the one thing that they all had in common? They didn't wait for the perfect time, but hit the ground running. They learned to see opportunity in motion and just leap. I created this podcast to help other entrepreneurs own their calling, expand their influence, get uncomfortable, embrace the growth of the journey to leave an impact on the world around them. For those who are ready to stop playing it small, to pick up the mantle of contribution that our clients in the world so desperately need. If that's you, then get ready to brace for impact as I share with you the top strategies, real truths, and hacks to crash through the obstacles and arrive in alignment of integrity, impact, and income. It's time to initiate the ripple effect of change.
And now you can go. And I said, like, how do I keep this? Because I want this. And the message back to me was, you just need to spend time with me every day. Every day. And just keep loading up. I'll feed you. Just like keep drinking. And I made a promise to myself that day that I would. First, it was prayer work, and then I started incorporating some of the meditation work that I learned in India, and ended up joining Tony Robbins' Platinum Partnership Group. And anything that didn't get flushed out, like the first or second or third go around with the God stuff, Tony would introduce me to a healer in India or a shaman in Brazil or somebody that he works with. And then he'd be like, Dave, you should go work with so-and-so. So I would. And then they would unlock something and then unlock something more. And then I would, in many ways, I think I'm a lot stronger than I was even as a hockey player in the whole big field of my life. I thought I was really one-dimensional, tunnel vision, pro athlete, go win, fight, score, make money, become famous, have the bet, try to win a Stanley Cup. That was it. There wasn't a lot of other stuff. So I know that's a long story, but it led me to where I am today. And I believe that my hockey career was a stepping stone to what I'm really supposed to be doing. And that's working with people. And if it gives me a platform for people to pay attention to what I'm doing, then that's great. Most people don't get that jumpstart. And yes, it was amazing. I realized my dreams, and I was one of 700 people that get to do this out of 8 billion per year. I did it for 14 years. That's pretty special. But I think now with the impact that I'm starting to have in people's lives, and it's growing, and I can feel the momentum, it's going to have more value. It's going to be something bigger than me or you or any of us. This is about, I don't want to get dramatic and say humanity, but the message is that I share aren't mine. They're from somewhere else. And I believe that I still have a pathway that's more direct than probably most people because of the injury. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That was awesome. That was just incredible. Thank you for, and please don't worry. We have plenty of time. It's just one of those things where I was familiar with most of your story. And I'm really grateful that you spent some time and shared, because there was some parts that even I didn't know. And so when you talk about, removing those layers, and that's one of the key cornerstone foundational principles that you teach with all of your clients now, I think that is just, if we would allow that same kind of practice in our own selves, remove those layers of what we've built up, or those false beliefs of, what people have told us that we're capable of or incapable of, or, you just get in touch with that full purpose of what you created to do. I guarantee you, I know it's hard to generalize, but everyone has heard that small little voice. And I think it's just a matter of really paying attention to it and following it and fully stepping into it. So, and that's what I love about your story so much. And I wholeheartedly do believe you're a stronger person today than you ever were in those 14 years, where you laced up to go on the ice for hockey, because to share what you've shared takes boldness and courage. And to do that every single day with the people that you work with takes boldness and courage, because not only are you, taking on what they are sharing, but you're also helping them remove that armor and then piece things back together to get them, going on their way and filling in their purpose. So let's talk a little bit on how you channeled this. Like, this is clear, crystal clear what you're supposed to do, and fully step into that. So now we got to the point where it's like, okay, yes, I accept this because I fought it for so long. And I do believe, like, we do struggle for a reason, because the people that we're going to serve, they do need to understand they're not going to meet us perfect and ready to go. They're going to have their scars and their challenges. And the more that we can kind of bond with them and let them know, hey, it was hard for me too. Like, I struggled, I fought it. I, turned my back and walked away from it until I finally decided to take this path. So I love the fact that you're willing to share it and have that openness. So talk to us about how your programs have kind of came to be, and what the future looks like.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And one thing that you touched on that I would like to circle back to is when you hear that little voice, like, follow it, like, act on it. And it's almost like, I don't want to say a reward, but it's almost like when you start to open up that dialogue where you hear the nudge, or you feel the nudge, and then you act on it, then you do it, then you get another nudge and another nudge. And soon you're just being guided. You're just being led to the right place. And there's those times when we hear the nudge and, like, you're like, that's crazy, right? I'll give you an example. And this is before the breakthrough or before the miracle. I would hear things and I wouldn't do anything about it. And then after, I promised myself little David was just going to act on it every time. So soon after I got home, I'm in Target. I hadn't seen my family, and I've been gone on the seminar for a few days, and I'm at Target and I'm walking through, and there's this checkout girl, and we're checking out. And as I walk by, I feel her. I feel her field. I feel what she's going through, and it's sadness. It's like pure sadness. And then the message to me right away is like, help her. I'm like, help who? Like, you know who? And like, what am I supposed to do? And Lance was like, you know what to do. And I'm like, really? So my wife's pushing the cart. She's got the 3 kids. They're walking out of Target. I circle back, cut off a couple people that are in line to get back in front of my girl. And she's a big old girl. And I go, do you mind if I give you a hug right now? And she just loses it. She just starts bawling like crazy, just crying. And I wrap my arms around her and we embrace for legitimately probably a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And I'm just holding her. And then like all these messages are coming to me, and I'm telling her how much I love her and that it's okay and it's not going to last forever, and that she's being watched over and that she has nothing to worry about. Like, it's okay to let it out. It's okay to let it go. And she did. And I give her a kiss on the cheek and I walked out. I have no idea who her name is. I don't know. I've never seen her again, but I listened, right? And as I started to do those types of things, like, they started to come like all the time. And I'll be at an event with my family or my kids, and the message is like, go talk to that person. I'm like, I don't even second guess it for a second, because there's something there. I don't know if they have a message for me or I have a message for them, but I'll go introduce myself and say, hey, like, how you doing? And usually it comes up within like a minute. And my wife's like, how do you go so deep, so fast with these strangers? Like, it's crazy. And I'm like, because it's not me. It's like something bigger than all of us. And I'm just listening. So I just had to like add that point. You know, you asked me about my programs. So I started like coaching people, and I started with athletes, and then it started working to entrepreneurs. And then I had this client that was going to go bankrupt, and for the second time, and we had a big win for him. We ended up turning around this deal. He had millions of dollars in real estate, and he thought he was going to lose it all. And because of I had a real estate background after I started to heal. So I always bought real estate. I lost it all during the injuries. And then when I started to feel better, I went and got my real estate license. And I was able to show him how to 1031 exchange a couple of properties to save a whole bunch of tax money. And then we like sold a couple of properties that he thought he wanted to keep, and and we flipped it. It ended up becoming like a $1.3 million turnaround. He went and told everyone else, all his buddies, what I did. And then they started to come to my door and say, hey, will you do for me what you did with so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, I can't guarantee like 7-figure wins every time, but I'll do what I can. They're like, no, it's okay. Just help me a little bit. And then they were having like huge, crazy wins. And then they told more people. So to be honest with you, my one-on-one coaching program, which is like grown like crazy, I've never marketed it. I've never run an ad saying I need clients ever. And it's been a blessing because I set a red velvet rope policy on the types of clients. When I started, I should tell this one story, and I don't want to jump all over the map, but
you're good.
I was sitting at a Tony Robbins event, and I just told in my book, I just wrote this. So I'm sitting at a Tony Robbins event, and Tony stands in front of me, and we're in a room of thousands of people. And I'm a platinum partner now. I signed on for 2 years. The first year I was like a fan, and I was like healing myself, and I was like that. And the second year I was like a student, and I was really watching every move Tony made. I was trying to figure out how he did his turnarounds, how he did his interventions. I was like writing down every question that he asked and the timing of it. And then I'd go home and I'd study it and go, how did that work? Like, why did he use that there and not there? And I started to see like little patterns about how he was doing his turnarounds. So I was like, I wasn't there as like a Tony Robbins fan or whatever. And I was getting work for myself for sure. I continue to get work for myself, but I was also there a second time going, I'm going to study the greatest coach in the game right now. He's done this for 30 years. He obviously knows something that the rest of us don't know. Let's figure out what he's doing. And I was studying that, but before that, he calls me out in front of thousands of people and says, and you, is it okay if I curse on this? I don't know. Cause I'll edit it. So he goes, and you effing bleep, bleep, bleep. What's your problem? And I'm like sitting there minding my own business, like, and there's thousands of people listening. And there's a microphone runner, runs me the microphone. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, how long are you going to wait? How long are you going to play small? He goes, you don't think you can help one person right now? He goes, I know your head's effed up, but you can't wait for that to be perfect. I know that you're like trying to figure out what the next steps are, but F that, do something, take some action, be something. He goes, you think there's not one person here that might want to kill themselves that was where you were a year or two ago and that you can't help out of the pit, out of the SHI, you know what? He goes, you don't think that you can help them? He's like, start now. Stop being it's hard for me to tell because
Choice word.
Tony swears a lot. So he's calling me like out like a little punk, and I feel so like part of me wants to stand up and tell him off. And then another part of me is like, he's totally right, And he goes, just go get certification. Look, I got a coaching program. Go get my certification and just start coaching. Don't even try to figure it out. Don't try to get all the perfect marketing or fonts or do anything. Like, just take like action. Like, you have to like start moving because like the longer that you keep sitting, you're depriving people of your gifts, basically, in paraphrasing it. So he kind of called me out, like, and I was like, well, all right, if Tony tells me I got to do this, I got to do it. And that's kind of where I knew I was going to coach and I knew I was going to help people. And I did get certified under his group. And then I started to just like study him it was crazy the detail that I would go into about the actual language that he was using, because language is so important for all of us. And just certain words that we use have so much power. As people come into my office and they're explaining things and they're like, well, I always have this problem. And I'm like, always? Like, always? Well, maybe not always, but this seems to happen to me like all the time. And I'm like, all the time? Because it's not, but it feels like it is to us and then as we start to tell ourselves that becomes like our reality when it wasn't even real to begin with. So part of my favorite thing about, and I know I'm bounced all over the map, but we were at the ClickFunnels event last year in Nashville. And I was making notes of the speakers and I was like, I was taking their golden nuggets, but I was also like watching the audience interaction with the speakers. And I really found that, at least for me, and it looked like for the audience, the most powerful speakers were the ones that just called it out, like brutal. Like, everyone is tired of people placating them and telling me it's going to be okay, and like BSing them all the time. And I made a stand to myself that weekend. I said, I'm just going to call it out like reality. Like, I only deal in truth. I don't have time to deal in these other things that aren't reality. None of us do. How hard is it to try to fix something when you're not even addressing the truth? You're addressing these other things that are holding you back or whatever. Well, that's probably not the truth. There's probably something that inside of you, or something that you say to yourself, or your belief system, or your mindset, that just won't let you even see that blind spot or know that you do it. And that's why having a coach is so powerful, because they can see your blind spot and they're not in it like you're in it. One of the things I do with my clients, I have them look at their problem or their issue from a different observer or a different angle. And it seems like that gives them a lot of clarity when they can like step out of themselves and look at it, have the 1,000-foot view down and see how all the pieces are kind of working together. And when you can get optics and clarity on your life or your business or your situation, it makes it a lot easier to figure out what the next steps are. A lot of people don't take action because they don't know what to do next. I've been there 100%. You've coached me through it, Kaci, but it's like there are patterns, constant patterns of people that get stuck and people that are succeeding. And, you know, I told you we were at the Plastic Platinum Mastermind, and it wasn't like these people that are the biggest performers in the game don't get stuck. They do get stuck, but they ask better questions to get themselves unstuck. And they take action right away, imperfect action, right? And that's such an important thing, to be able to move and create momentum. Like, I'm creating the Get Your Shit Together, beep, sorry.
It's okay. Out of all, if there's only one, you're doing good.
So I'm creating a program that's called the Get Your Blank Together, okay? And I called it that because people that would come to work with me, I'd say, why'd you hire me? And they're like, Dave, I got to get my blank together, okay? It starts with an S, you can fill in the blank. And, you know, that program's coming. That's a challenge that's coming that I'm doing in the next probably 2 months. But the whole entire idea behind that is a way for people to start to get momentum back on their side. And once the ball starts rolling, things are good. But when you lose your momentum, like I did when I stopped playing hockey, it's hard to like get it back. It takes 100 times more effort to get the momentum started than it does when you've already got that snowball rolling down the mountain that just starts to create its own momentum. And then like all of a sudden it's this big thing.
Right.
And you know it, you probably see it. You can kind of, being on so many calls with you, I get to see other people too. Like I can see people kind of like lock in a little bit. It's almost like, all right, they're going to do fine because they're engaged and they're like playing now. They're playing the game for real, instead of dabbling.
Yeah. I love that you shared that, because I think a lot of people really need to realize that, it's a constant theme with all of, and that's why I love for all of the guests to share their stories, but it's a constant theme of it. Like, it is not a straight line. It is, figuring things out, surviving and enduring, but also adapting to what path is laid in front of you, and figuring out what you are going to literally push through and what is going to keep you down. And for those who choose to stand up and to rise, and I know a lot of what you're laying the foundation is, to live every day like that champion that is going to step through, that is going to fight every day, regardless of what you're fighting for, but you're going to endure. That's what separates it from everybody else. And just starting to serve. And that's what I love about how you've created what you've created, is you've just started to serve. You saw your purpose, you stepped up, you started serving, And then everything kind of just developed from there. And it's, for some people, it is like the chicken and the egg, like, well, what do I do first? And sometimes you just have to put yourself out there and figure out, like you said, when you first started coaching, you started coaching pro athletes, and then, you progressed, and then you started working on yourself and that internal work, and how can I be better? How can I serve more? And then just evolving, and I love that. And then you find the patterns, and that's when the things get real. Like, that's when the momentum is there, when you start seeing the patterns and you can set your own framework, and you start to create these systems that you're, walking all of your clients through, right? Even though it's personalized for the one-to-one coaching, there's still like systems that you walk them through, and exercises that you walk them through. And that's what's beautiful. And the way that the challenges come about. Thank you so much for just like really calling that out, like just taking imperfect action to standing up and serving, and so that you can really create that business and that life that you're proud of. Yeah.
I mean, we can get caught up in the tech and the minutia and all of the things, but you're a testament to this for just doing your first seminar, but like, you probably didn't have all the pieces perfectly designed, or the exact lighting or sound or screen or, music, because you've never done it before. But just the fact that you were on the stage and you were delivering it, I have a feeling it probably lit you up in a way that's going to give you momentum to be able to do it again and again and again. Is that correct?
100%. 100%. It's just continuously stretching yourself outside of your comfort zone, and following that inner voice, that one, that I think you should do this, and it is like that inner dialogue sometimes, like this you need to do. And then we fight with it for a little while until we finally decide to give into it. And then we have that, that burst of courage where it's like, holy smokes, I told somebody I was going to do this, so now I have to follow through with it. And it's just a matter of, yeah. And so what Dave's talking about is last month we did the Amplify retreat, the live event. And it was really, really scary, but it's one of those things where it's like, it really opened my eyes. And like what you said, like when you experience that level of serving other people, it's like, I can't go back. You can't go back. Once you know it, you know it.
Awesome. Well, I'm so proud of you. And you're inspiring me and so many other people to do the same thing. And it's like, part of what you do, and I believe what I do, is like, we see the potential in people that they might not be able to see for themselves. And we see that they're stars, and that they have special gifts, and that they're unique and different. And they might not even realize that that's a gift. But why would anybody want to be the same? Like, the same is average or below average. The same is boring and limited. There's no energy in it. When you're going for it, when you got no safety net, when you're about to go up on stage and your microphone's not working, right? I'm guessing that it's probably a terrifying feeling, but it's also exhilarating. And it's also like the way that the game's meant to be played. I don't believe that God designed our lives to just be really, really safe and certain. I think that would be extremely boring, and there would be no energy. There'd be no life in it. I think we're made to stretch. I think we're made to grow. I think we're made to serve. I think we're made to learn. And when we can like open up in a way where you're almost surrendering to your fate of this amazing life, it changes everything like instantly. It's like something just clicks where you're like, okay, I've tried it my way for so long and this definitely isn't working. What do I got to lose? I might as well try to change it up, switch it up. Let's just see what happens. Let's buy this program. Let's hire this coach. Let's talk to this mentor. Let's talk to this friend that's already doing it, right? Like, you don't want to go hiking Mount Everest with somebody that hasn't hiked it before. I want to go with somebody that's done it 1,000 times or been through hell and back, please.
Right.
Because then they can know exactly what part of the map that I'm on and help me get to the next part of the map. That's why I joined the programs that I'm in, because I don't know this. You know, there's certain things that I don't know, and there are certain things that I need to learn. In order for me to serve the world, I need to learn how to market online. I need to learn how to coach to thousands of people instead of dozens and dozens of people or hundreds of people. I need to expand my reach in order to serve more people, in order to share the messages that I'm getting. So, like, I'm not made to play small, and I'm embracing it like crazy. And I'm like, let's go. You know, one of my mentors, one of my healer coaches that I work with, he said to me, Dave, there's nothing wrong with you that you feel this fire in your stomach all the time. Because I asked him, I said, you know what? I've got everything I ever dreamed of in my life. I've my amazing wife and kids. I have my dream house. I've got money in the bank. I've got the dream clients. I'm doing it. And yet I'm starving. Like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And he called me out and he said, you know, you're chosen. And if you're not chosen, you won't feel that pull. You won't hear those whispers. You won't feel those nudges. You'll feel like it's okay that you'll hit the finish line and then you'll stop and like put your feet up and that's it. But who are you serving after that point? The game doesn't stop. Life doesn't stop for you once you reach the finish line. It opens up, if anything else, to go even bigger. So he goes, the fact that you're always starving, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means that there's something right with you. Because God and the universe and the energy are loading you up so you can go do it again, except bigger and more and like more precise and get more coherence in my message. Each time that I speak or each time that I coach, I'm getting more precise. I'm almost like a surgeon that's just getting like more like tactical, where I can somebody can come to me suicidal and I can turn them around in like 2 or 3 weeks, where like they're writing me, I haven't felt this good in 18 years. Thank you for being in my life. Now, you don't think that doesn't make me want to get up and do it again the next day? I'm doing what I promised God I would do. You're doing it. Like, each person that you help, Kaci, amplifies everything even more. So you're helping me get my message out to thousands. And you're not just helping me, you're helping like hundreds of us. So look at that ripple effect that you're having on the world and how beautiful that is. And when you start to have global impact on humanity, the energy and the messages just come, the connections come, the people in your life that you need to take you to that higher level just show up. And that's the way that this game starts to get fun. And life doesn't have to be heavy.
I love it. That is the perfect way to summarize just the time that we've spent together. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Dave. So we mentioned some of the programs, and if you're listening, we are going to put all of Dave's links on amplifymyimpact.com. But Dave, do you have anywhere that you want them to go specifically to evaluate like where they're at, how you can help them, or you know, if they have some friends that they need to send and get in touch with you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, if you want to go to thebiglifequiz.com, thebiglifequiz.com, that's a fun little survey that we do to show you kind of what level you're living at your life and what's capable next. And I believe there's some free training at the end of that. We've also got the mindflowmethod.com, which is a meditation program that I have. And you can buy meditations there a la carte. But also, I'm going to send Kaci some links that have some discounts and some deals for you guys, where we can get you guys a really good discount, you know. And I just would love to be able to, if you're a friend of Kaci's, you're a friend of mine, I'd love to be able to serve you guys any way that I can. And if that means me getting you some free coaching or some strategy session or anything like that, I would be happy to do that. And you know, it's just an honor to be part of Kaci's friendship circle and to know that I'm getting to be a part of something pretty special here with a very special person. So keep tuning into her podcasts. They're amazing. And yeah, I look forward to meeting all of you guys one day.
Thank you, Dave. I equally feel the same about you. And it's so funny because that's one of the biggest things that I love about you, is that you're not afraid. Like, and you guys, if you don't know Dave, he is like this just huge guy, like hockey player guy, like, you know, but he has a heart of gold and is just like so genuine and sincere. And so I love that you have the boldness to really tell people how you feel and that you love them and express because my kids ask me all the time, they're at that age where they're paying attention, but at the same time, like there's things that confuse them. And they're like, why are you telling that person that you love them? They're not dad, and it was like, but I do, I genuinely appreciate that about you. And we do close out our calls like, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I mean every single syllable of those words. And so thank you so much for sharing that part. And I'm excited about the lives that you're going to impact too, because so many people need to see like the huge, like there's a huge idea shift of what, a rough and tough hockey player, championship professional NHL hockey player is, and someone who's bold enough to say, I love you, and to turn around and the grocery store and Target and to go just be there for somebody, a perfect stranger, that's what I'm really, really excited to see. And I'm thrilled and humbled to be a part of it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So we'll keep you in touch and make sure we hook you up with everything that Dave has, because he is incredible and amazing and is just getting started with doing great things.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.